Hey everyone, this is Blackwing, and I'm coming at you play Call of Cthulhu. Before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about the origin of Call of Cthulhu, for those of you who aren't familiar with it. Call of Cthulhu is based on the stories of H.P. Lovecraft, a cosmic horror author from the 1920s. He was not the first author to write in cosmic horror. Robert W. Chambers also did, Algernon Blackwood, a few others. But he really helped codify the tropes and themes of cosmic horror as we understand them today, especially with his Cthulhu mythos stories. A shared universe in which he and a bunch of other authors from his time wrote and created these ideas of an ancient, uncaring universe filled with horrific things that really didn't care about humanity one way or the other. The most famous of Lovecraft's creations was Cthulhu himself, as embodied in the story The Call of Cthulhu. This game, as far as I know, is not based on that story. It is actually based on a tabletop role-playing game by Chaosium, which was originally published in the 1980s, based on Cthulhu mythos stories and Lovecraft's work, and which has now been adapted to this video game. Call of Cthulhu, the tabletop RPG, is very much about investigation, diplomacy, trying to figure out what's going on before you go crazy, and a lot of the other things that were featured in Lovecraft's stories, and a lot less about the things that the Cthulhu mythos turned into later on, which was more about big, gribbly monsters. I know very little about the plot of this game, other than you're playing a private investigator hired to do a missing persons case, and so let's get started. I'm going to adjust the brightness up a little bit because I'm extremely blind. And take a look at the settings here. Graphics. View distance epic. That's a great term for ultra, I guess. Subtitles are on. Excellent. Controls. Yeah, all seems pretty good. Hopefully they'll give me some tutorial on the way so I don't instantly die. Or, if I do, at least it'll be thematic. So without any further ado, let's get started. Pierce Investigations Agency, Boston. Boston, 1924. Edward Pierce, veteran of the First World War, drowns his memories in liquor and sleeping pills. He is now a private detective who has trouble finding a case able to lift him from his torpor. Pierce must find a new case quickly or risk losing his license. I'm not sure that you lose your license if you don't take cases often enough, but I'm not a detective, so I don't know. If I am mad, it is mercy. May the gods pity the man who in his callousness can remain sane to the hideous end. H.P. Lovecraft. Well, we're definitely getting off to a bright and cheery start. Ooh, fish guts. Fish heads, jolly fish heads. Yeah, that's gross. Not a big fan. Honestly, I don't know what's going on right now with this guy, but if I woke up in the same situation, I'd probably be a lot less coherent. Oh my god, a game save already? I haven't done anything yet. Ooh. Movement and get to the ground. Ooh. More fish guts. Fish guts everywhere. And of course all this goes back to Cthulhu being a god of the ocean, his followers being deep ones who are horrible hybrid fish people. There we go. Can I interact with that? Oh. And locked up tiny drum. I wish there was some indicator to let you know you're crouching besides your vision point being lower. More chain. Still not a big fan. All this fog, too. Is this like real fog, or is this like... the fog of the mind? Oh. You must light up some items in order to interact with them. Okay, a lantern. Speaking of... Very nice. Now so you can't interact with stuff until you can see it. I thought they were trying to get me to light a torch or something. Alright, so bolt cutters. Yeah. Now we are playing the game.
In my wake, hold along. Fate inescapably draws you on.
It's a little bit of a rhyming couplet.
What a putrid offering.
Man, I really hope it's not supposed to be Cthulhu that's solving, because Cthulhu is supposed to be kind of incomprehensible.
Don't fight. You have been chosen.
I do like that there's a dedicated run button, but man, your run is not very fast. I would think that to get away from the horrible old ones, you would need to run a lot faster.
Everything has already been written. But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
That's nasty. And of course a nightmare, because you can't have a good Cthulhu game without starting off with a nightmare sequence.
I hate whiskey.
Well, you seem to drink a lot of it, Edward. Consult my diary. My private detective agency contracted to the Wentworth Detective Agency. After the Great War, I decided to set up in Boston, where there's no lack of work for guys like me. One small-time case follows the other. Adultery, settled scores, disappearances that are not actually disappearances. The old office couch is less comfortable than a real bed, and I should probably get rid of these empty bottles. But this place is mine. For the moment. Huh. Alright, so, hello. Seems I've got a little hex diagram of skills here. Looks a lot like a JoJo stand chart. 20 October 1924. The doctor can well repeat to me that I no longer need my remedy to keep my memories at bay, but I know that if I stop, the memories will return. One of these mornings, I probably won't wake up. Despite the treatment, I can again hear voices in my dreams, but they're different, unknown. They seem to surface from unfathomable and ancient depths. What nameless creature is calling me? Well, according to the game's name, it's Cthulhu calling you, because it is the Call of Cthulhu. My old lighter, they engraved in memory of the 77th Infantry Division and the men of the Lost Battalion who fell. It is kind of sad to see someone from the Lost Generation trying to pick up after the war, but you know. Don't drink. Come on, man. Get yourself together.
It's been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
Okay. U.S. has voted dry. Oh, prohibition. Lovely, because that was a great idea. Oh,
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
Pierce seems to be a pretty well-read dude.
A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy.
The bar owner who hired me didn't like the way I closed this case, but when you're already outside the law, there's not a lot more you can do against a private detective who's got proof against you. They spelled who's wrong, but you know what? I'll take it. Telephone.
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
Oh, is this the point where I do my character points? Oh, nice. It's actually real good. So, I want to do a lot more actual investigation with this, since I know that this is an investigation type game. It looks like they're actually using the Call of Cthulhu percentile style method of things. I'm gonna put in some spot hidden, some more psychology, 6 AP needed before next level. Medicine represents your medical knowledge. Improving the skill increases your chances of determining the dose of a drug, making a diagnosis, or expressing your understanding of a medical problem. Occultism represents your knowledge of the occult sciences. Improving the skill increases your chances of determining the use and origin of occult artifacts and expressing your knowledge of the myth. I think I would definitely want to have at least some of that. Psychology represents your knowledge of human behavior. Improving this skill increases your chance of understanding the motivations of a person based on his or her behavior or on the analysis of objects. Spot hidden represents your ability to find hidden objects. Improving this skill increases your chance of finding hidden objects. Well, duh. An undiscovered object will not appear in game. Huh. Eloquence represents your ability to influence those you talk to by the power of your speech. Improving this skill increases your chances of convincing or manipulating during discussions. Investigation represents your investigation skills. I think I'm going to get some more of that. Because honestly, to me, this guy seems like he's a good detective, but not really good with people. Maybe good at understanding them, but not so much good at, dealing with them. And I think I'm gonna accept that.
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
You might be losing your license
Work
because
is
you're
scarce.
not working for your
Mr. Pierce,
contract outfit.
you know as
That's
well as I
interesting.
do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, you...
So you're a subcontractor. Okay.
I'm coming.
And that's when they walked into my office. This is a few years before...
Sir, I
law
came
really
here on the
became a
advice of a
thing,
person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat
That was a little
inebriate?
sudden.
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes.
Oh,
Everyone
of
knows
course
her.
there's going to be an artist
The
involved.
police
because
accuse
a
her
lot
of killing her
occult
family.
stories do that.
They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I
Sucks to be
can't
you,
do
but-
anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
Well,
But
know,
if you
people with
have
mental
no
illness
proof.
sometimes do things they
I've
never
brought
would have
all
done
that I
right now.
have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to
Are
mind.
we doing some more character creation stuff with this? It's kind of interesting.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
All right. Consult diary. A strange picture painted by Sarah Hawkins a short while before her tragic death was sent to her father just after the artist died. He's convinced that she's the sender. He brought me the painting so I can examine it. Stephen Webster, the wealthy industrialist, came to my office. He wants me to reopen the Sarah Hawkins case named after his daughter, who died in a fire alongside her entire family. I must examine the documents he compiled in order to know more about the case. Examine the painting. Okay. Alright, buddy. Alright, let's
A
examine
warehouse
the
on
first.
Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
Shipping label. Some of it is unreadable, but I can make out the address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater. The police report says that the fire started in the dining room and claimed the whole family. The police decide on a domestic accident, but they nevertheless insist on Sarah Hawkins' mental frailty. Why? A press cutting. An article written about the marriage of Sarah and Charles Hawkins, a businessman from the island of Darkwater. They live a recluse life with their only son, Simon, and a whole bunch of pirates. Alright, let's investigate.
What's this
I have to
symbol
hold
on
it.
the man's chest? It's as if Sarah Hawkins breathed a message into it.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
Let's see, this is investigation. That's just dialogue. Unlocked answer. You should take this meeting lightly. I'm curious about that.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
Darkwater? Never heard of the place.
It sounds really
Where is it?
charming and friendly.
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
Alright. This is unlocked, so I think I'll... Actually, I'll ask this.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions.
You know,
Everyone
visions
knew
doesn't
that.
sound like a thing that
She
a
never
sane
would have
person
hurt a
has.
fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce.
Even
You
to
must
me,
find out the truth about her life and death.
The meaning could be exactly as it appears. I think your daughter is sending you a message.
That's what I believe, too. It was 3 months ago that I received the call from the police telling me of my daughter's death. And yet a short while after, this painting was delivered to my home. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all
You
this.
do sound like you're ranting a little bit, dude. I'm sorry about your daughter, but you know.
The sender's label mentions warehouse.
That's right.
And you think you're...
That is what Go to Dark...
It wasn't lit up, but sure.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am
not
aware
just saying
of
that
that.
because I need to keep my
I believe there
professional
is more to
license.
this case than just an accident.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm
wish I
willing to do
was.
anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death,
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right, I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Oh, that's
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice.
Let's look at the diary since he's been wanting me to consult it for a while. Okay. All that remains is to leave for Darkwater. I'll certainly find something on Darkwater on my bookcase.
Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic.
Didn't look at
I'll
this
no doubt
before.
find some information on this island in there. Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
The husband never understood his wife had left him. He kept on calling me weeks after the investigation had been closed.
Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of
You
it.
clearly have.
According
heard of it.
to
You
this
just
book,
mentioned it.
it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then.
Darkwater Island has been inhabited since the 14th century and is still rich with the many memories left by its lost tribes. But don't let the romanticism of the moving evidences of such naive and primitive beliefs fool you into forgetting how violent their gods were. Wow. That's about what I was expecting for white people from the 1920s. A gigantic creature still ornates the walls of long abandoned caves. Was it a seer or a dream god? No one knows. But today's inhabitants, the sons and daughters of the proud whale hunters, still remember the mysterious and tumultuous story of their small land off the coast of Massachusetts.
All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater.
Turns out the real danger is white people. Oh wow, way more.
I used to be an avid reader.
A dense working in interns and young practitioners. This first volume lists all illnesses known in the civilized world. It details the symptoms and suitable treatment. Wow, one volume does that, huh? View the character sheet. Oh, the medicine and occult skills can only be improved by objects discovered in the environment. Wow, weird. Stephen Weber, wealthy businessman. I just met this guy. Charles Hawkins, local celebrity. He looks suspicious. Sarah Hawkins. Simon Hawkins, occupation dead. Clues. Painting by Sarah Hawkins depicts a monstrous silhouette threatening a woman and child. Flames can be made out in the background. Stephen Webster, the father of Sarah Hawkins, thinks it's linked to the death of his daughter. You'd see the world's forgotten the very existence of this isolated rock off the coast of Boston. It's a small, inhospitable island whose coastline is made of steep cliffs and sharp reefs and only one outlet to the sea. It's mainly inhabited by the descendants of whalers who had supplied their post there in the 1800s. It was hit severely by the collapse of this activity. I think the only venture on the island that's still profitable is its medical institute. Sanity? Confident in your abilities and your Cartesian mind, you conduct your investigation by sticking to the facts, your convictions, and your perceptions of reality. Your conclusions are logical and reliable. Huh. Edward Pierce is a veteran of the First World War who took part in the Meuse-Argonne offensive. He's one of the few survivors of the Lost Battalion, American units that suffered heavy losses from enemy and Allied artillery fire. Force held their position for several days, surrounded by the bodies of their fallen comrades without food or medical supplies. The soldiers were considered as lost by their fellow countrymen, and Pierce is traumatized by these events. He consumes sleeping pills and liquor to ward off the nightmares that haunt him. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd be doing any better in his situation. Leave from Darkwater. Hey, I got an achievement and I got a skill point for leaving my office. The cursed artist is accused of having caused the fire that killed her and her family. As the only clue, she left her father a disturbing painting. On the shipping label, an address, a warehouse set on the docks of the island of Darkwater. The place seems to be the starting point for Pierce's investigation. Let's enter madness. It's a pretty shot, but ooh, now we actually get the opening stuff. Nice. would say that this game is not as pretty as I would expect a modern game to be, especially with all the settings dialed all the way up, but at the same time, it kind of has a charm to it. Like, already, it feels almost stylized.
We're almost there.
And the green palette is very much leaning on the cosmic horror is green idea of visual design. Call of Cthulhu. The restricted symbol makes it less scary, y'all. I just want you to know that.
Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload.
Man, half of those boxes like they're made of cardboard.
Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
You don't sound very welcoming about
Why,
that.
thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
I am not controlling
Does the
this, I'm
Hawkins
just
case mean
auto-walking.
anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office.
I'm actually glad they make you rotate.
If
to
it's
look
the
at those
Hawkins
places.
family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
Okay, new objective. Talk to Fitzroy. I can start my diary then. Well, that's all of that. Darkwater Docks. Go to the bar. Talk to Bradley. Talk to Fitzroy. I've got a skill point. What should I spend it on? I'm gonna spot some more hidden stuff. Yes, I really do. Sanity's still good. Places. Darkwater Port. At the entrance to the port of Darkwater, one still passes in front of the shell of the Scylla, the last whaling ship to have brought back a catch. Sailors wander the docks looking for some small job for the day. A gang of bootleggers has set itself up there and is gnawing away the territory of Captain Fitzroy, the last sailor to own a boat capable of making the round trip between the island and mainland. Here, the golden age of whale hunting is but a distant memory. Wow. Now, let's take a look around, see if we can spot any hidden stuff. Yeah, I know I'm going back toward the ship, but I want to see if I can talk to this guy. No, he's just fishing. He's got no time for me. I can run, but man, I'm slow still. It's not running so much as it's like a very light jog. Ooh.
Please move back. Let the police do their work.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Sullivan. Can't you go any faster?
You see how old this thing is. If we force it too much, we'll break everything.
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
Well, sure.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy!
They're cops. They can't understand.
Damn stupid idiots!
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to treat an omen.
It's not an omen, it's a dead whale.
He's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
Oh, pish tosh.
Don't put that beast back in...
The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
Ah. And so who are you?
I didn't introduce myself. Edward Pierce, private detective.
In any case, it's not very important.
What?
I can't answer that.
You can't? Or you don't want to?
Oh, no. I'm not getting into those games, me. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't understand. You're not sailors.
You can see that I'm busy,
saying?
can't you?
You can't understand.
Don't put that
okay,
beast
sure,
back
I've
in the
been
water,
blown
you
off.
shysters. You're crazy.
They're cops. They can't understand.
Damn stupid
A
idiots.
lot of repeated talk. But, you know, I am a logical person. You know, my main objective is to talk to Fitzroy. I'm going to go do that first. Hello?
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
On the table next to me. This one over here? Sure, awesome.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins.
Only a few dates are still
That's
legible.
all I'll get from
1890, 1907, and a partial date. The rest of the document is blacked out. Who'd want this information to be hidden? Clue mentioned manifests. What's over here?
I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
The terms of our agreement are clear. Keep your men under control. You cannot afford to provoke us. No need to answer this message. Just make your payment to the carrier. Huh. Look at me investigating. A lot of maps. I'm just gonna wander around, poke my nose into things. Whoop-de-doop-de-doo. Ooh, more learning of medicine. Teaches ethics and good practice in medical staff. Nice. More stuff up here, maybe? Let's take a look. Ooh, there's a shiny thing. There's three shiny things.
This man and Fitzroy could be twins.
Oh, but you know, wooden legs, so it can't be the same guy. Nothing in there.
What a macabre souvenir.
Macabre. Ugh. Oh, hey. Wow. Yeah, you definitely
From
look
here,
nice.
I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Well, let's start with a warehouse 36.
I'm looking
sure.
for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't
Well,
miss
that's one mystery solved.
Understood.
it. You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse.
All right, yeah, your
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
Do you mean that the dates have some meaning?
Ooh, what did Charles Hawkins really
I know
do?
that Charles Hawkins was descended from a family of ship owners, and the island's fishing industry was hit badly.
Indeed, we specialized in whaling, but no whalers went out to sea after the miraculous catch of 1847.
So where did the Hawkins family get its money?
Smuggling,
Well, from
probably.
what Charles inherited, I presume. Although, these dates on the manifests could indicate that he had contracts of another kind.
It's smuggling.
With whom, I wonder? I was looking at your photograph. One of the man in front of the book.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
From here?
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Oh.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
Oh, okay.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
Also, it smells really bad. What would have killed it? What would have
Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
No, he's talking about a
Indeed,
giant
you're right.
squid. Why are they putting it back in the
The
sea?
police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least.
You know, who's cat?
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Yeah.
Are you being
I
blackmailed?
nosy.
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
Sounds like my kind of lady, actually.
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
I will. New objective. Oh, I got a character point available. Nice. Wow. Picking locks. Okay. I'm gonna spot hidden some more. Clues, threatening letter, photograph, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's head over to the bar. Exactly where a recovering alcoholic with nightmares should be going while he's on a case. Actually, calling here's a recovering alcoholic might give even too much credit.
Hey, be careful.
What was up with that? Ooh.
Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
Ooh, test eloquence, test strength. Oh, my eloquence isn't very good, but I'll try it.
Yet you served this man, and you can't say he's been on his best behavior.
He's a regular. It was you who provoked him by turning up with your mainland manner.
You mistake my manner. I ask nothing more than to become a regular as well, which will be difficult if you refuse to serve me.
I hope you're less talkative when you're drunk.
Try me.
We'll see.
Did I succeed or not? Hey, I guess I did.
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway.
Oh.
Anything else?
Cat's a hooch smuggler. Gotcha. Do you know the
What do you know
Hawkins
about the
warehouse?
Hawkins warehouse?
If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams.
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more.
You said plenty.
Anything else?
Oh man, I should order a drink.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why.
We don't like art around here.
I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
But I will anyway.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
You are a very
What do you mean by that?
well-educated and
Do
philosophical.
you still trust the
barkeep
truth
on
after a bottle of whiskey?
a Backwater Island.
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable.
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
Probably will at some point.
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
The stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of dockwater, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and
Good times.
flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
Oh man. No drink for me.
That'll be all for now.
Okay, I've gone to the bar. I've harassed the customers, and I see people over in the corner, including someone who's probably Cat. I think that's all for this episode, though. I'll be back next time with more Call of Cthulhu. I'm Blackwing. This has been Call of Cthulhu. Please like, subscribe, share for more, and I will see you next time.